Okay, everybody, welcome. Happy Tuesday. Today I'm here with yoga instructor and author Alana Zabel. We were connected over the summer. She had a lawsuit filed against Jeff Bezos' new wife, Lauren Sanchez. She's finally been doing interviews. So now I'm like, okay, now I can interview you.
Yeah, I tried to give Lauren a grace period to make this right, and she's chosen not to. And so I am going to speak about it. And, I just wanted to offer that grace period. But based on a declaration that she served my lawyer, which was laden with um, untrue statements, objectively untrue statements, it seems that she has not been honest with the people in her immediate circle. And so she's got a lot of pride tied into this, where she just does not want to admit the truth. And she thinks she can get away with it because she has money and influence.
So let's start with like what happened. So, how did you guys get connected, you and Lauren?
I was Lauren's private yoga teacher for about 4 years. So I'd go to her homes, and we became friends. At that time, in like 2007, 8, I was patenting my yoga dolls. So I created the world's first yoga doll, which is the first
Well,
movable fashion doll, which Mattel went on to knock off.
oh, really?
Everyone loves to knock off Alana, but Lauren just loved what I was doing. She had all my children's books, and she wanted to partner with my activewear line and my 21-day program that I had in my book. So we were having discussions with her manager and really deep in this excitement about partnering together. Now, she had this idea about a fly because she was a pilot that was stuck on the outside of a helicopter during a flight. And so we were talking about, turning it into a children's book because she knew that's what I did. Now, flash forward in 2010, we had a horrible falling out at her birthday
And
party.
this is like pre Jeff Bezos. This is a long time
Oh,
before
yeah.
Jeff.
This is a long time ago. Yeah. So I quit working for her based on I was, just to be frank, I was in a really abusive relationship with a sociopath. So I had no tolerance left for these kind of people. There's a lot of narcissists in Hollywood. It is just shark infested waters. And I was, a celebrity yoga teacher teaching all these people. And I tended in general to have patience and tolerance for, narcissists because I was a people pleaser.
Me
We're not going
too.
to get into my psychology, and this is not a therapy session. I've learned, and that's what I write in my book. I want to share what I've learned. There came a point where I had no more tolerance, and Lauren did something that I was like, I'm done. I'm so tired of this toxic woman who's high once, low, she's just mean spirited, pretends to be your best friend. So I went to her home the day after her birthday party, and I wrote her a check for the remaining 3 yoga sessions that she had. And I just told her I don't need to be just treated this way. So now all these years, she's had this deep resentment towards me for quitting working for her. Okay.
And you were doing privates with her?
Yeah. I go to her homes.
So she already had money before him?
Yeah. She was married to Patrick Whitesell,
That's
who
right.
merged Endeavor with William Morris. So he was,
Oh, so she's always had she's always in those circles, wealth circles.
well, she seeks them.
Right. I guess it's not good for her, right?
I mean, it's a plan, so whatever, not to judge it. That's, yeah, that she's sought out people that can advance her needs for attention and fame and wealth. I'll put it that way.
Okay. Okay, go on.
In a way, there's something so unique about Lauren now, right? So I'm going to jump ahead and then go back.
Okay.
But there's a lot of people that are very inspired by my work. I'm a hyper creative person, very organic, and I'm just very creative. A lot of people, everywhere I go, they're inspired by what I do. But never, ever have I met someone with a combination of deep, deep insecurity mixed with access to endless wealth who can actually take my work and execute it this way. Like, okay, I wrote a children's book about a multicultural group of girls called the As I Am Girls, and they go on these, adventures all around the world to space. They go to the ocean. So when Lauren gathered a multicultural group of girls to go to space, I know that it was inspired by my work. Um,
You're the reason that for the Katy Perry and kissing the daisy in the ground.
I mean, just look at the spacesuit on my character, Pratya, in my
Should
children's
I
books.
show
Sure.
the okay, so I have the side by side. So when did you she knew about your book.
Yeah.
This
So,
is yours, right?
yeah, that's my book on the left, and then Lauren's book is on the right. So you can kind of see the side by side, right? So mine, goes to
Dharma
Mars,
Kitty Goes to Mars.
and then hers is,
The Fly Who Flew to Space.
yeah.
Okay, so then as it goes on
So you can, yeah. So first, I'll give you a little backstory, and then we can go side by side. So
okay.
in 2019, she came to my yoga studio in Brentwood. So she walks in, she points at all the books on my display, and she's like, I know her. I have these books. Like, she was so excited. She saw me behind the desk. We hugged, even though both of us were like, oh gosh, like we haven't seen each other in 9 years after our falling out. But we both seemed more mature. She was dating Jeff. It was in the news. So we talked for a few minutes, we hugged, and it seemed pleasant. I sent her a text after and I said, it was nice to see you. I'm glad you're so happy. And then 2022 comes around and I would release a different book each year in my series. And that year I was releasing Dharma Kitty Goes to Mars. And I thought, oh, this is perfect for Bezos Academy because I always give proceeds of my books to some charity related to the story. So I thought, let me reach out to Lauren and talk about partnering with Bezos Academy and Bezos Earth Fund. So I sent her an email in June of 2022, and I included two. I sent her an Instagram message and an email saying that I have this character from Brazil who's an environmentalist. She's all about the rainforest. And I showed pictures of the doll. And the other character is aspiring to be an astronaut. And this would be perfect for Bezos Earth Fund and the Academy. She doesn't reply. But 6 months later, in Vogue, and it's there, and I have a copy, she announces that she's going to write a children's book about a fly who is an astronaut and goes to space and then becomes an environmentalist.
It's the same story.
Well, it's not. She took two of my characters, the two that I presented. She probably looked at my website and was like, "Oh, this is so great. I can, I have my own theories as to, what her motives were that I won't state here, but um that did not end up being her story. She ultimately, when she got herself a book deal, went back and actually copied my exact story. Now that's where it becomes a legal issue. That's copyright infringement. Anybody can be inspired and say, oh, I love that someone's writing a children's book about an elephant who becomes a diver. Great. As long as you don't follow the exact story, it's not copyright infringement. It's just you're a turd and you're copying somebody else, right? And that's
Yeah.
what a lot of people do. I mean, 90% of the world is copy and paste. So it's not uncommon. But as soon as it crosses over into, whoa, she actually copied my story, that's copyright infringement.
So when did you file the lawsuit?
So I actually first I filed a cease and desist. After I saw that Vogue article, I was like, oh no, girl. Oh no. So I erred because I let my emotions get involved. I issued a cease and desist, and I had a lawyer say, it's obvious that you tried to make last minute changes to the book. It probably would have been exactly like mine, but she tried to make little changes enough.
So
And
that you couldn't say anything.
yeah, I had a lawyer that said you should have waited until she published if you knew she was going to do that, because then it would have been, more compelling. But so I issued a cease and desist 6 months before she released the book in September of 24. And then when I saw and I read her story, I was so inflamed and just
Mhm.
screaming. I just I wrote a complaint and went to the courthouse the next day. I was like, oh no, oh no.
Right.
So I made a mistake and I filed in state court. And all these, I hit and it got a lot of press. So a lot of lawyers from all over the country were emailing me, supporting me. They're like, oh gosh, you have a case here, but you have to file in federal court. Copyright infringement is federal. So dealing with her lawyers, they're absolute bulldogs and mean and aggressive. That's a whole nother story. But I dismissed that case in state and then I refiled in December of 24. So a couple months later in federal. But the problem is the fires hit in January. And I didn't know she was about to get married in Aspen. And so her lawyers were bulldogs trying to get it dismissed before it hit the press before her wedding. So what I do know, and that someone has told me, I don't know for certain, but I've been told by an investigative journalist who's working on this, that Lauren was supposed to get married in Aspen. And when my lawsuit hit, the Amazon lawyers then went to Jeff and like, you need to renegotiate this prenup. And so Amazon wanted to remove themselves from Lauren. So it
Just
is
because of your book, your one
because
lawsuit?
of the lawsuit, because I had subpoenaed Amazon as well. Um,
Ah,
so it could be, I don't know. This is theory, but when Lauren and Jeff did get married in Venice, the day after he gave her like $700 million or something because he cashed in some Amazon stock. So I'm thinking, well, because she couldn't get the stock because of the December 24 lawsuit, maybe, these are all theories, but
yeah. We
yeah.
like theories here.
So yeah, so I made a mistake and then the fires hit. I had to be evacuated. I was dealing with so much. My dog had a stroke. I was dealing with so much that I didn't know you can only file 2 lawsuits, right? Against the same person. So I reached out to them. I said, "Can we stay this while I'm evacuated and trying to figure all this out?" And they're like, "No, you've got 6 days, blah, blah,
Of
blah."
course, they don't care about what's going on with you.
They don't
The
care.
lawyers.
And so I said, "Listen, I'm going to have to dismiss this one, and I'm going to refile, and that'll be it, one more time." But I didn't know there's this like Rule 41 where you can only file 2, unless you have a good reason. So I then got a lawyer who's amazing, fantastic, one of the most amazing people I know, and we refiled last year. And we are waiting on a ruling from the judge on this Rule 41. And I feel really good, like once we get past that, and even if we don't, I'll appeal it. This will keep going, or I can open a new lawsuit based on new claims of continued use of the book. But hopefully we get past that, and then we'll get into the evidence, which is really good. That's where I have the emails and the exchanges, the side by side of the book. I mean, everybody's jaw drops if you want to like,
Should we look? Do you want to go through the side by side?
yeah.
Okay, so
So this shows that my character is aspiring to be an astronaut. This is Pratya. She's all about like science and STEM related inspiration. She and then on the right you'll see also that's from my website. Then all of a sudden,
is
Lauren's
this Lauren?
character is
Lauren,
also aspiring, yeah, to be
an
an
astronaut.
astronaut. Yep. Then there's a classroom scene in mine, right? And then on the right, you see there's a classroom scene in
That's
Lauren's.
weird.
Okay. And then you've got a console scene with mine on the left. Console. Oh, there's a console scene on the right. Next page, you've got, ground control, right? Mission control. And then these ground
That's
teams.
crazy.
Mission. Yeah. Oh, it gets crazier. It's cumulative. And then you see she's trapped inside the space capsule and she's yelling, "Help, help." And the lights are blaring. Okay. And
Yeah.
then, oh, look at the fly is trapped inside the space capsule.
Uh
Oh my
oh.
God. And then I read, this is the same thing. You can read the actual words are that the lights were blaring, the lights were red. And then on the right, same thing. The lights are blaring and using the word help.
Wow,
Exactly.
it's like the same book.
The same book. And then she's looking out the window, because she's trapped inside. Oh, look, the fly is looking out the window. Oh my God. And then next page, it's just like a pan out of space and just giving a little information to kids about space. Oh, so on the right, oh my God, a little pan out of space. Um,
And Lauren saw this book when she saw you at the yoga studio in Brentwood.
I had published mine in March of 2023, but so she could easily have like ordered it on Amazon.
Oh, okay.
So then you see that the parents are worried, because Pratya and Dharma Katie are on Mars. They don't know where is she? And then on the right, you see, oh my gosh, the family's so worried because the fly is in space. Um, the next page, oh, they're reunited when she gets back. Oh, this is so wonderful. And then on the right, oh, they're reunited. Oh, this is so
What
wonderful.
the heck?
And then you see This is where it gets really crazy. She gets an award, okay? Dharma Kitty and Prati get an award, a science award, Medal of Honor there, and then oh, the fly gets an award. Oh, wow, okay, and then on the left, you see the next page is I use the word I have this I am theme, so mine is I am focused, so for that book, because she's very studious and focused, and then on the right, Lauren uses I am focused.
She says that? Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, and then, I think you know what, my lawyer included pages that I had even missed, like, there's this one image where she replicates the exact, like, position that my character's in.
These are like
Uh,
the outfits that Katy Perry and them wore to space.
that's right.
That's weird.
Yeah, yeah, and then I have a rocket logo on, my character. Oh, look at there's a rocket logo on the fly. So I'm
So,
not a fan. I'm not a
yeah,
fan.
I think I'd be really mad if I think I'd be really pissed if I were you too.
It's so
And
hard. I've just had there's been such negativity and, like, again, like, the reason that I'm doing this is and again, burning through this kind of negativity and fighting is because, even though I've, like, had this peace, love, and rainbow butterfly yoga life, it's just a phase of justice that I'm in, and it's wrong, and it happens to creatives all the time, you know?
yeah, no one wants to fight, especially when you're going up against Jeff Bezos' wife. It's like you
Yeah.
think you're never going to be able to have a shot.
She thinks she's totally immune because of her money and her influence, and she's I have declarations from editors. She's initiated a smear campaign against me, which has been hard, and I'll be honest, like, I've had, like, moments of depression, like, it's really like, it's so hard to do this, but I just keep I'm just fighting for it.
So you feel like it's worth it for you just because you want to see like the powerful and the rich held accountable. You feel like
I mean, I think it's also what we're all dealing with in this day and age. There's so much deception, and we're especially what we're seeing from the Epstein files. Like, these billionaires think they can do whatever the f they want. So if this is a mission of mine to reveal the truth about this and the tactics behind it, the psychology behind it, and to enlighten people about it, then yeah, that's what I want to do. It's just, I was thinking, I had a lot of guilt about being a yogi and kind of burrowing in this negativity and fighting.
Mhm.
But then I realized, like, if you look at Gandhi, if you look at Sri Aurobindo, if you look at true yogis who have paved the path of yoga, they all get into the legal activist world at some point because it's an extension of yoga, you
Oh,
know?
really?
Yeah, to speak the truth, to fight for what's right, you know, yeah, I think so.
So then you ended up writing another book that I have here called Knock It Off.
Yeah. Mm.
And it says imitation isn't flattering, calling out the posers, the abusers, the knockoffs, tips for you to live your most authentic life.
Yeah.
So is this like a strong message to Lauren?
Her lawyers tried to threaten me about my book. I don't mention her name. I'm telling my
Right.
story of being a celebrity yoga teacher and having dealt with a lot of narcissists. There's a sociopath, there's a social climber, there's the socialite. I had a woman, I'm not going to tell you who it was because she's famous, but she she was so insecure about moving to Los Angeles from New York and, like, kinda stepping into the social circles in LA, that she started telling people, including Hamptons Magazine and Town& and Country, that she was the founder of my company. Like, I found out because Hamptons Magazine called me to fact check an article, and I'm like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa," and I had this trunk show, and she brought 7 of her friends to my trunk show in Beverly Hills with my activewear line, and all of her friends came up and they start touching the fabrics and my samples, and they said, oh, I almost said her name. They looked at her, said her name. "This is amazing. You're right in front of me." Um, so that's what these people do, and especially people who marry into wealth and status, they're the worst of all.
Well, you can get it because then you can get away with more.
Well, because they're insecure. They didn't earn it. They didn't get a degree in order to be an engineer or, trained to be an actor. And all of a sudden, they need to prove something of value. And so then I come along, this hyper creative, yoga teacher, and they're like, oh, great. I'll just steal it from Alana.
Chapter 1 is the sociopath.
Yeah, it's a horrible story.
Gaslighting is a slow, unconscious loss of reality.
Yeah. Yeah, that one is tough. I'm actually finally, after 18 years, facing that story right now and healing that. Yeah,
So
it's
this
horrible.
is about a woman.
Yeah, sociopath is a man. It was an abusive relationship that I was in. He was
Oh,
truly a sociopath. Yeah, he had spent.
how can you tell?
I learned the hard way, but he was absolutely like the girlfriend after me tried to commit suicide. Like he would say, "Have I fucked with your head enough?" He would gaslight me, and they do it after years of love bombing, and they're charming. And so once you're in and you're vulnerable, then the abuse begins.
How
And
long does the love bombing last?
everybody's different, but
Uh,
they're going to wait until they have you hooked. And the emotional abuse, and then he broke my wrist. It's a horrible story. And yeah. So, and I found then when I found out, when I tried to report him for domestic violence, he had served time in federal prison for our nation's biggest fraud scam. And I was like, oh my God, who am I dating? And then I just had to uncover who he was. And I found like photos of women, suggestive photos that he pretended to be a producer on Craigslist and have like all of the deceptive, selfish, gaslighting, gross behaviors are a sociopath. They just
so when
have
you put like a bunch of things like this into a book, wouldn't Lauren's lawyers be like, "Oh well, it's clear that she's just obsessed with this type, or she's attracting this"? Like, are they going to use that against you?
well, no, that's not for or against because
It has
we
nothing to do with
we
the
here at
book.
court, the merits are about copyright infringement. And I'm open and honest and forthcoming about the fact that, yeah, I have attracted a lot of narcissists because I'm a healer. I want to make the world.
They love healers.
They love healers. They love yogis because we're like peace and love and forgiving. So there's a lot of reasons behind it, but none of that would work against me and none of that would invite someone. One thing I say in my book is that, yeah, I get it. I get that I'm easy prey, but it doesn't matter because if they chose to do it, that's their
No,
decision,
totally.
you know?
I just
Did you
wondered because you said she had a smear campaign against you. I was wondering what she was using.
No, she just tries to, say that she actually said that she didn't know me, and oh, she was just a yoga teacher or here and there. And then I had years worth of like texts and emails. And so then she had to like swallow that. And, she just tries to diminish the reality of, how close we were and the relationship that we had.
Do you feel like Lauren like has changed since she got married to Jeff?
She's trying desperately and she has access to do it. But it's still built on a house of cards that will crumble.
You don't
It's
think because everyone's saying like they always take photos of her in the news where they're showing her like checking out other guys. Her eyes always look wandering.
She is the most jealous, insecure woman I've ever met.
Really? You're not just saying that because she copied the book.
Nope. She's she would yeah, I mean, yeah, no, like everybody was the bestie to their face and then she was just mean-spirited about them behind their back. Like she's just your classic. She's yeah. So
And you think she's just putting on like a facade for Jeff? And you don't think he sees it? I mean, he's a smart guy, but it doesn't matter how much money you have, men can fall victim to women, especially if they're
he's
seductive.
Jeff's autistic and Lauren is masterful. The other thing, I've never met anyone more masterful at like at manipulating people. Like we were, in the beginning, like we were thick as thieves. Like she's so good at making you feel important when she wants something from you. She's genius at it. Um, but once she gets that, it's a different story. So,
So once she gets it, then she like discards.
yep. Yep. But she kind of knows that she's beholden to Jeff in order to maintain where she's at. So it'll be interesting to watch. But
Do you think they're gonna last a long time?
you never know. I mean, listen, I've got my theories. I don't personally think so. I think at some point Jeff is going to wake up, or she just can't stomach it anymore. Her goal was to get the ring, to marry him, to get him to marry her. And now that that's happened, like, where's the goalpost? What has changed? And she keeps sliding into like kind of like where she takes the lead and it's about her, and then she has to self-correct because he's trying to humble her and be like, "No, it's us, not you." And I'm
Oh,
watching her kind of slide back and forth, and we'll see. We'll see. It'll be interesting.
oh, you think that he's trying to like correct her a lot? When did he do that?
I don't know if he is particularly, but she reads everything, every post, every comment. So she knows she's not liked. She's one of the most hated public figures. Like on a
Right.
list of 1 to 10, she's 8, you know?
Her and Chris Jenner seem to be pretty close.
Yeah.
At least they had she was at Chris Jenner's birthday party, the big birthday bash.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm in a
What do you
different
say she's
phase.
good at
Like,
manipulating? Like, what does she do? Like, what are some of the tactics?
yeah. So what Lauren is genius at, especially with men, is she's so wiggly. Um, You
Wiggly?
just cut you wiggly, meaning, like,
Huh.
she'd be like, "Yeah, yeah, 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 I wanna do this, we're gonna do this," and so then you're, like, waiting for finality and closure, but then she wiggles off, like, she can't sit still. She's like a jumping bean, and so, for a person like me, you keep chasing, trying to nail it down, and then if there comes a point, where you're like, "Okay, forget it, I'm out." But someone like Jeff, who wasn't necessarily developed in his relationships, in his romantic relationships, for him, it was the ultimate teaser, the nonstop teaser. She's just really good at being seductive and knowing when to pull away. So then, I need her. I want her. It's all an illusion. Like he's just is in love with the fact that she's elusive and that he can't ever get her to sit down. Because when you do, then you get to see the real Lauren and then you're not as enamored.
That is the tactic, isn't it?
The tactic, 100% how
They
she
say
got you.
that's like it's like manipulation. It's like they know when you're not around, and you miss their dopamine hit they give you. So you end up
Yep,
being addicted to the dopamine hit.
yep.
I'm
The
very,
more I
very much I'm very susceptible to these types.
Are you?
Oh, 100%.
How?
Because it's so exciting and
Yes.
thrilling.
Yes.
And then when they pull back, then it's like I'm paralyzed and I'm like, "Was that all an illusion?"
Yeah, and
And
then
then
you're
I can't eat and I have a
frustrated.
pit in my stomach and I'm losing weight and I can't think about anything but that. And then
Yeah,
they give you a little more attention and then you're like, "Oh, I'm back." And then it's push and pull and
yes.
it's this terrible cycle.
That's exactly it. It's exactly it. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, I almost feel like I should be a little more like Lauren to get what I want.
I mean, if you wa I mean, yeah, if a person wants to
But
manipulate.
you can't really do it unless you really are socio.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah, unless you
So is
yeah,
Lauren doing it on purpose, or do you think she's just like ADHD?
100% on purpose. It is calculated. Yeah.
So when you say she's wiggly, it's intentionally wiggly.
Absolutely.
She's
It's combined with a discomfort and an insecurity, right? You're so afraid that someone's gonna realize who you really are, right? And so I think it maybe started that way with this big imposter syndrome and this like, social climbing, objective. And then in each time that she gained success, she was successful with this kind of behavior and personality. Um, it adds strength to it and confidence to it, and you continue. She's masterful, masterful at it.
I guess Jeff's in a good position because he's the one that has all the wealth.
Yeah, we'll see. It'll be interesting to see, but I used to really admire Jeff Bezos. I really did. I emailed him as well, and his assistant responded about my book. So he was aware of it as well in 2022. Um, but I remember emailing him just because I had so much respect for who I thought he was as a business person. But he clearly just needs some some psychological development to understand these deceptive tactics of people. It's really interesting. There's this interview where they're sitting on the couch and he's talking about Lauren is the most generous person I've ever known. I think we've all
I think
seen
I've
this.
seen that one.
Yeah. Watch it and watch how she knows how to look at him and say certain things. She'll say, because we're a team, right? And she's not saying it as a fact. She's saying it to entice him into feeling that they're this team
Like
and they're these
hypnotic.
soulmates. And then if he believes that they're soulmates, he's going to fight harder for her. Like he's now complicit and he's in. Yeah.
Oof, this hit hard. Um,
Because of your personal.
Just things I've been through.
Yeah.
That's how they get me. They're like,
Yeah.
"We are one."
Yeah. No, I could go on and on and on and on and on. And that's why I wrote this book. I talk about my shit, their shit, and tips for people who are reading it on how to navigate these kind of people. Because I'm not
But
a
once you're
Facebook.
in it, it's like you can't get out.
You can, but it's harder. It's so hard. It's so hard. Have you ever been in a situation where people around you are telling you you need to get out and you just can't? And you wish you could go back and have listened to those people?
Yep.
And
Depends on which stage you are in the cycle too.
yeah. Yeah.
But that sometimes it's like, well, maybe you just wanna beat them at their own game, but you really can't win.
No, as soon as you start fighting in that way, you've lost.
Really?
You've lost it. I remember Deepak Chopra said to me once, Deepak Chopra said to me, the most detached person will always win in a conflict. And that's always stuck with me. Like if
So
you
that's how you beat them at their own game is you detach.
yeah, if you don't have anything to lose, and you're not affected and attached, those are usually people that will win.
But then they're the ones that they don't target.
Mm,
They don't want people obviously Jeff must be obsessed with Lauren.
he was.
You don't think he is anymore?
I don't know. I
I
don't know.
I just feel like over time this sociopath can't keep up the illusion.
Exactly.
So like they had the wedding, they did the thing, but it's like how long is this going to really last? She's going to
Yeah.
get bored.
Yeah. You can't keep hiding. You can't base a true relationship on hidden variables.
You don't believe as a yoga instructor that anyone can be healed?
Yeah, but a person has to be honest. I mean, I thought, if you really, I texted Lauren and I was like, "Come on, you stole my passion project. You stole something I worked for 13 years to create from me, and just let's just make this right. I don't need this to be a big public battle or to nitpick who's right, who's wrong. Just make it right." And a person who can't do that they're not being honest with themselves, and they're not gonna be on a healing path.
I mean, I feel like they want your energy because they think you could help them, but then once you see them, they get scared because then you're seeing the sides of themselves that they hide.
I was a lot of celebrities' favorite person, and, they all wanted me around because I was not judgmental, and I did truly
They love
sincerely.
that.
I didn't judge them, and I wanted to help, and I had this bleeding heart that I really wanted to help, and that I was hyper creative, and there's so many different reasons, but yeah, no bueno.
I think they move fast too. Did Lauren and Jeff move fast?
Of course.
Like, didn't it how long were they dating before they locked it down?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know those details. I have her blocked on all of my channels. I've no interest in knowing more than I have to about
So
Lauren.
she won't settle with you? She's not just gonna be like, "Here's some money, like, go away?"
Um, you know, she just thinks that she has endless money and she can just keep dragging me down, the court system and, smearing me and her new book, okay? This new book that she just released last month. My series takes these girls, multicultural girls, and it teaches them and the readers about the planet and sustainability. So I go from space to the ocean to the rainforest to, it's all these different locations, but I'm teaching about sustainability. Lauren's second book, she decided to turn hers into a series, and her second book goes to the ocean. Oh my God. So that's not illegal, right? I haven't read
Yeah, anyone can go to the ocean.
right, but there's no doubt in my mind. Mark my words. Her next one will go to the rainforest, and she's mirroring my themes, my locations, the essence of my series, and that's just a big fu. And she doesn't care. She thinks she can get away with it.
Didn't she just put out a video where she was like, "I'm a writer." What was that?
Something popped up in my feed. There was this guy that yeah, yeah, people ask me all the time, "How do
Yeah.
I write?" And this guy was like, "No, they don't."
Right. That was funny. And then you were like, "No, actually, but I do, and here's my
Yeah,
book."
yeah. So I use that for video.
I'm surprised that she's just, like, not scared of getting caught.
when you're at that level, not only do you
You're
have
so
access,
protected.
you're so protected and deluded that you're protected. You're surrounded by yes people and the best lawyers in the world that are promising you that they'll take care of it and this and that. And, you know, not many people are like me that would just keep fighting.
Do you feel like the sociopath is good to the person they're closest with if they treat everyone else around them like shit?
A sociopath doesn't have empathy and they only care about themselves and winning. So nobody is exempt. If they have somebody close to them, a partner, that must be contractual and they must be gaining something from it. And therefore, they won't harm them because they're gaining something. Like, who's that serial killer? BTK. This guy had like a family, a wife and family. So they all had roles in his world that he wouldn't harm them because she's my
Right.
wife. You know, she's takes care of my children. Like there was something he was gaining from those relationships.
I was told that the narcissists like to keep like all the like if it's a narcissist, they want to employ their family. Like they're good to their sometimes their immediate people, but then they're hurting everyone else. That's like
Because of
some
control. If they can control their immediate people and those people adore them and that feeds their need for adoration and control, you know, I think all situations are a little different, but a sociopath does not have empathy. That's why they copy. Sociopaths are, it is known, if you read anything, DSMR 3 and 2 and 1, anything about psychology, sociopaths mimic. The development of a sociopath is that kind of, for example, in the crib, the mother tends to be the mother or the caregiver did not affect. So when a child is a baby, they look at your, they don't know communication. So they look at your facial expression. So affectation is, hi, I love you. And all these feelings of being safe and secure. Now, and caregiver that does not affect, it's more robotic, that develop sociopathic tendencies because the child is afraid and they think I have to take care of myself. Like no one
right.
responds. I cry if I want milk and I don't. So they now their brain wires differently where they become manipulative and calculating. So it's actually very interesting, the psychology and the development of a sociopath.
Don't you feel like they have a soft spot though?
It's not real.
It could be just to get to lure you in.
Yep. Yep. Ted Bundy was apparently very charming.
Yeah, they're charming and but
So was my ex. Very charming.
why do you think people are so addicted to them?
It's a mind fuck. Sorry, am I not allowed to swear?
No, you can.
Okay. It's an absolute game for them. It's about winning. They love that you become dependent on them and in love with them because then they can hurt you. Because this is where it comes in. Sociopaths don't know how to feel emotions. So when they see you hurting, they get so excited. Like it's a turn on for them to hurt people because it makes them feel an emotion by watching someone else be emotional. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the more attached that you are, the more the pig will squeal and the more delight they will get from the pig squealing.
So I guess you can't really win.
Can't win. If you see sociopathic tendencies in someone, run away. You will not change them. You will not change a narcissist. You will not. You will not. If somebody can't apologize, if somebody can't be really gutturally real and they're healing and accountable, there's no chance of a healthy relationship and just walk away.
People are wondering in the comments, what about like children? Are they capable of being good parents?
What do you mean? About
Can
her?
the narcissists or socios, like, can they be good parents?
Is she talking about Lauren?
I can't tell, actually.
What would you say is the difference between a sociopath and a narcissist? I think we have an epidemic of narcissism. There's a lot of narcissists in the world right now because our world is set up that in order for you to succeed and
Have to
survive,
be
you
narcissistic.
you have to be a narcissist. You have to only care about yourself. This rewarded in the day and age that we're in. But so a narcissistic tendency is not as pathological as a sociopath. A sociopath could become a psychopath, which would be a serial killer. Or we're talking in a realm of massive harm that can happen with a sociopath and a psychopath, or a narcissist, can either be someone who cares about themselves or they've had so much trauma that they're just defensive and not they want to blame everybody else. And there's a lot of different there's covert narcissists, there's, overt narcissists, right? So that's a different realm and it's easier to heal. I
What
think there
happens when a narcissist and a sociopath get together?
Oh, that's my next children's book.
Really? Because I think that could be a pretty dynamic relationship.
What's funny? I watched the movie, I don't know why, The Housemaid last night.
I haven't seen it.
It hit home, and I liked it. It was good because it kinda shows how these narcissists and sociopaths look so polished and charming on the surface, and everyone else believes their facade, but behind the closed doors, they're just the most manipulative, abusive people, and, they make everybody else act crazy.
Someone said the Clintons.
The Clintons? I Listen, I think that Bill is a perv, and I hate, I don't think he's honest, but and I've been disappointed with Hillary for staying with him, but we don't know the relationship. But I tend to really believe that Hillary Clinton is a highly intelligent woman. So, but
But sometimes sociopaths want a highly intelligent woman to make themselves look better,
yeah, yeah,
especially in the political sphere.
hmm Yeah, Trump. I mean, he's a hardcore, like uneducated, sociopath. I'm not
I
gonna get.
feel
I'm not into
I
politics.
I wonder if Melania is an empath.
I think Melania is an opportunist.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she was just
It
going
doesn't
along for
seem
the
to
ride.
do much.
Yeah, she's just like, she can, she met him. There's some money. She's having some fun. She doesn't seem necessarily hurtful or harmful, but she's not going to fight for anything, you know.
I'm surrounded by a lot of sociopaths, and I
Really?
do pretty well with them.
Wow.
So it makes me wonder, am I one?
Well, again, for years I had a career because I catered to these people. It just don't get too attached. Don't sign a contract. Don't have a deep relationship, an intimate relationship with these people, and you'll be okay. If you're aware of it and you can use it to your advantage or it works, with your lifestyle, then fine.
Well, they've been trying to get too close now, and now I'm feeling like, uh-oh.
I'm going to tell you, I'm going to be honest with you. I wish I could go back in time. I thought my ex, I found a book that he wrote, that he was reading, How to Make a Woman Fall in Love with You. Okay. Cause I wasn't into him. And I laughed. I'm like, this guy thinks he's going to get me to fall in love with him. Ha ha ha. 6 months later, I was Pavlov's fucking dog.
Because you read the book and you did all the tactics.
Because yeah, like I remember like looking to see where he was at. And one of the things he said was make her do things for you. The more she does for you, the more she thinks that you're invested in her, that she believes she's in love with you. And so that same day, he like called me, hey, can you like take these shorts that someone gave me for Christmas to this store on Rodeo Drive? And in my mind, I'm like, I would do this anyway. Like, you're not going to manipulate me. Before you know it, the more you're doing and the more you're giving and not getting anything back, there's this welling, like, I must be in love with him. You're brainwashed.
Wait, because they're having you do stuff for them?
Yeah, and your actions and your giving to them without getting anything back starts to create an imbalance. And then you're trying to actually figure out how to get something back and you're confused and they know just when to make you feel like you're gonna get something back. Then you're right. So you're hopping along and before you know it, you're a bunny trapped in a cage.
What other the tactics did he use on you in from the book?
Gaslighting. We were at dinner once. This is a great example. Deep in our relationship, and my ex took me on this trip.
Gaslighting does not work on me. I'm like, no, this, and this, and this is wrong.
Depends how deep you are in the brainwashing and the abuse.
Yeah, because I have so many receipts, I'm like, nah. And then they just back and they're like, oh, yeah.
Yeah. So he took me on this trip up the coast to all these spas, and along the coast. And we were in San Luis Obispo having dinner. And he starts asking me what kind, we're going to get married, what kind of like servant, like whatever kind of staff do you want at the house? Because he's very wealthy. Do you need a housekeeper, nanny, da, da, da. So we're having this very intimate conversation. And then the waiter came up And it was my birthday. So it's lovely, wonderful birthday and wonderful conversation. The waiter comes up, "Can I get you anything else?" And he turns to the waiter and he says, "Yeah, how about a blonde? I'm done with her." Okay.
What?
Yep. So I'm like,
Wait, what?
what did you just say? So the waiter is embarrassed, walks away,
Was
but
he kidding?
he goes, "Honey, what are you talking about? What do you need some more? What's wrong with you? Why would you think I said that?" Okay. And you start to be like, "No, I know you said that." And then they act like they're so offended that you would think they would say something like that.
Oh,
Years later, not kidding you, I called that restaurant. I remembered that waiter's name and I said, "Is Paul there?" He was. He got on the phone. I said, "This is going to be crazy, but do you remember 2 years ago?" Blah, 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 blah. So did I. He goes, "Oh my God, I felt so bad for you."
so he just was trying to make you feel drunk, like you didn't hear correctly?
He did it all the time. You start to delude your belief, and you also, for me, I never want to hurt someone. So if someone acts like I harmed them, I retract. I'm like, "Oh my God, I'm so I then apologize."
Right, same.
Mhm. Gotta
'Cause you don't
watch
want
that.
them to feel embarrassed.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I keep trying to, like, but I think the thing with me
Yes,
with them,
Darvo.
yeah, they do Darvo, but I feel like what's been helpful for me with socios is that I poke them more, and then it starts to make them mad.
Don't
That's
say
the way to
don't say
win.
that. I'm not someday, my next book, I'm gonna tell the real deep shit that my ex did to me.
Yeah, I've never been in, like, a real relationship with, like, a sociopath.
It's awful. It
I
changes your life, you're brainwashed. I've never been the same since, I'll be honest.
Really?
Yeah. I used to be so easygoing, and I'm just, less trusting, more reactive until they murder you. Exactly. Exactly. Seriously.
It's
Yes.
once you're, because then they do the discard and devalue.
Mhm. I love
And
your
the
people.
yeah, they're all really good. Yeah, you basically in the book, you say that you have, like, lessons. So in her book, she has lessons. So it's like, "Please do not make the same mistakes that I did. I ignored the early signs, brushing them off." Oh god, this sounds like me right now. "Believing I was too strong and too smart to be fooled or manipulated. Mind control and brainwashing are easier than most people realize, and we are not firm in our own mental programming while avoiding manipulating people. We are susceptible to be taken advantage of." That's interesting. Um, yeah, they are skilled at even twisting the strongest people into their webs. No amount of intelligence or strength can protect you.
Jenny said she's not the same either. Yeah. Mhm.
Um, yeah, when I leave, my gut feeling would always feel really bad, like I had a pit to my stomach.
Yeah.
But then in their presence, I felt on drugs.
It is. It's addictive. I just want a peaceful life with honest people, positive people around me. I'm just at that phase of my life. I don't have patience or capacity for people's bullshit anymore.
Um, yeah, see, she has a lot of really good, like, uh, ways to, yeah, they keep trusted allies close. They like to isolate you.
Yes. 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 Yeah. Yeah. Read the book, knockitoffbook.com will take you right to the link. I don't want to keep telling stories from it, but I think there's a lot of value in the
And
book.
then you also have a whole chapter about the charlatan.
Charlatan, yes.
Do you wanna talk about that a little bit? Because I mean, you're in LA, there's a lot of charlatans.
A lot of charlatans. Yeah, and I obviously was in the yoga world, and I'm really glad that I never drank the Kool-Aid with any guru or anybody. But I did work for Deepak Chopra for 7 years for the Chopra Center. And
And he's in Epstein files now.
oh yeah. Oh yeah, and I've been speaking out against him. He's so creepy. And
Really?
and they stole my 21-day meditation program, that I pitched to them and then went off and did it with Oprah after telling me that I was stupid. Um, But the story I tell about that is that Deepak's partner at the time, I had created all these, trainings and programs for them, and you do it for free. These charlatans want everything for free. Always look at the balance of give and take. Always. Listen,
Oh, because they're like yoga, so they're like, "Let's just do energy exchange."
but even anything in life, in our existence, is energetic. And you cannot continue to flow in a healthy way if there isn't an equal give and take. Okay. And that's what like narcissists, sociopaths, charlatans, it's all about taking. They're just black holes hungry to take from everybody, right? So if you're in that orbit, you're going to get sucked into their black hole. So the Chopra Center, I kept, they don't pay you. And then as soon as you start to ask for pay, then there's another training they want you to take that they'll waive the cost of this training and blah, 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 blah. It's always something. Again, the goalposts always changing.
They never just want to, they just pay you.
Yeah. So after they took my 21-day meditation idea, I was done. And I was like, why don't you guys just pay me and I'm out of here. And his partner, I was sitting across from him at his desk next to the wall. And he walks around and he sticks his right leg in front of me in the wall, kind of boxing me in, and just starts.
What was this? Deepak's friend?
His partner, his business
partner. Got it.
So it's gyrating his pelvis in my face, telling me that
What?
I have ego because I want to get paid. Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Those are charlatans.
This is so LA.
This is so LA.
This is like, it might sound crazy to people out there, but like these things happen in LA every single day.
So I've written a script about my stories. I'm so excited about it.
What did you say after that?
I literally was like, I laughed, I think. I was like, what the fuck? This little man's like gyrating his pelvis in my face.
It's so embarrassing.
He's like, you have so much ego. You don't need to know what this means. And I said, sir, I ask for every ingredient in the soup at the restaurant I go to. I'm going to ask you every ingredient in your primordial sound meditation. So, yeah. They saw my resistance and that I saw through them as ego. And they want to diminish your confidence, right? They want to, make you seem like you're egotistical when you're just an honest person who's calling out somebody's abuse.
So Deepak, what were you saying about Deepak? Like you said, you've been calling him out for years.
Yeah, Deepak was just creepy. I mean, he was just like, whisper, "We've got karma" in my ear, and he was just creepy.
But like, yeah, that wasn't probably, you probably weren't vulnerable to that.
I mean, it was just, he was also very magnetic. He was a magnetic speaker. But after they took my program, I had a private investigator do a deep dive on Deepak. Oh my God.
It was crazy.
Yeah. So I've just always known he's not the guru he tries to pretend to be.
And yeah, he's in the Epstein. I don't think things are great for him right now.
Yes.
I
love your people. They're so smart.
Yeah, they're all good. Everyone in here is like a good fit. Like,
yeah,
they're all very awake. You have
all go on retreat.
Yeah, seriously. You have you've got the groomer in here.
The groomer.
I didn't really understand the groomer. I don't know if I've really been around the groomer.
The groomer was a client of mine who owned a record label. And just very, very charming, flew me around the world. I'm not going to go to that one.
Oh, wow. You're talking about he's close to Clive Davis. You guys are going to love this book. Since they're all like the big names these people care about. Beverly Hills Hotel.
I am that.
Tells you you're a star.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the people I'm hanging out with right now kind of fit all of these.
Yeah.
Maybe they're encapsulating every character.
We're rare unicorns. Like people who don't care about those things are rare unicorns,
It's very common in LA for them to be like, you're a star and I'm going to make you a star.
Yeah. I have to leave, but oh, it's bye. It's so nice to chat with all of you. Oh my gosh.
Talks off the record. So yeah, you have the groomer, and then you also have the other one I want, the poser, and also you have the social climber. I feel like the social climber is like the least like dangerous. But then again, Lauren could be the social climber.
Not sure.
What do you think is the most dangerous one in your book?
The sociopath for me is the most dangerous because they rewire your emotions. They rewire your reactions. They rewire who you are because they want to possess you, and so they have to brainwash you. So they're the most dangerous of all. I'll take a lawsuit about against somebody who stole my children's book over the psychological damage that I experienced from a sociopath any day.
And is there a cure?
It's hard. It is so hard. It is a work in progress for me. I buried what happened to me 18 years ago deep down. And I then created a community. I owned a yoga studio where I created a beautiful community of people that I could trust, who could trust me. I created a kumbaya world. I had a safe home. But then I lost my home in the fires last year in LA. And I realized when, in an instant, kind of like losing my home and my business and the community that I hadn't addressed what was up.
Oh,
And it came flying up. So I'm currently working on that. I'm really looking at it, facing it. I'm going to write about it. Yeah, but it's hard.
so you think the socios the most dangerous because they're like so focused on like owning your mind?
Yeah, and they're just so manipulative. They're so manipulative. Yeah.
Like, what are some manipulation tactics we should look out for?
Um, one thing my ex did to me, again, he probably could smell where my weakness was. I lived in San Diego when we met, and I really wasn't that into him. I was dating somebody in San Diego. I was very happy. And he tried to pretend like he wanted to help my business. And so he would take me to he'd come to my yoga class and then take me to dinner after, talk about my business. And um when we started dating, I would go to LA for a few days a week to see my clients and then go back to San Diego, which was to me just more grounded and earthy. I just didn't like LA as much. So we'd have a great few days. I'd go back home, and as soon as I arrived and I'm home, he would then start yelling at me about something I did, and I was so pissed off. And I'm like, "Oh my god, what are you talking about?" He would make it up, and then he hangs up, and then he shuts off his phone, and I'm like, and it's emotional abuse. And so I'm like, "Oh my god, I didn't do that."
Wait,
And
so you thought you had like a great time?
we had a great time. And I would call and call and call and call, and then my emotions are getting revved up, which in somatics, now you've created a magnet. Okay, there's psychology behind this. And so after an hour, I would get in my car. It's midnight. I just drove 2 hours from LA, and I drive back to LA. And I would get to his door, and I'm like, "Are you okay?" And he'd open the door. "There you are. Oh, I'm so glad you're back." Okay. And you're just like, you're exhausted. You're just emotionally abused. And then once you're in that kind of weakened state, the abuse starts, and you're fucked.
So you feel like it's like he would punish you when you left.
Yeah, he brainwashed me never to leave him. Like, even after he broke my wrist, I still kept going back. I still kept thinking, "You're going to apologize." And it's like I was watching myself. Yeah, it's embarrassing.
No, sorry, Stencil just gave me like a crazy look because it's kind of similar to something that's happening for me. It's
Call me later. I want to help you get through that.
like every time I leave, I'm in trouble. I'm in trouble, and I'm like, I didn't do anything.
Don't it's so honey, it seems so innocent at first, but it's accumulative, and then there just comes a point where you lose yourself, and, you're searching to find yourself in the person that erased you. So,
Yeah, it's so dumb.
yeah, there's no winning. There's no winning. You always
I mean,
need a
so
healthy
they were
answer.
trying to like they tried to help your business, right?
It's all a facade. It's all a game.
Did he actually help?
No. No. I tell the story in the book about the reason that he wanted me, you know I'm not gonna go into it now, but, it's because they see people's strength, they see what people's value that they can the value of who you are and how it can serve them, and they'll do anything. They don't realize they're taking this unicorn and putting it in a cage, and then the unicorn dies,
I think they
so
do realize that.
yeah, maybe you're right. You're absolutely right. It's
Maybe
about
not.
killing. Yeah, it's about the hunt and the killing and the winning. You're right. Yeah,
They want you around all the time,
yeah,
like Rapunzel trapped in a castle.
exactly.
And then when you're at the house, they're like treating you like a princess. Then when you leave, you're like the
Only
devil.
when you're about to walk out. Yeah, there are many times where I'm like, "You know what? If you're gonna be this way, I'm out." "No, no, 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 I love you so much." They know just kind of probably how Lauren is to Jeff, like they just know how to keep you on the heroin.
Were you, like, getting like, equally mean to the person?
To him,
Yeah, like, would you, like, match the energy?
I love that. I kept trying to save us, and I saved myself.
That's nice, Jenny.
Yeah. Jenny, I need to learn from you. I'm working on it.
Yeah, you don't know why, and then they play victim a lot too.
Oh, yeah. Masterful. Masterful. It's all a game.
My favorite types of games are mind fucks, so that's why I'm in a bad position, I
Oh, I'm
think.
scared of you now.
Well, no, it's not like I'm into it to you. I'm just saying, like, when I see someone that's really dark and evil, I wanna, like, poke them. Like, I wanna break them.
I know, but you gotta be careful. Like
I
that
sometimes I feel like that's my
oh,
superpower.
I like to solve things, like to figure out who's done
Me
what.
too.
And I now watch myself. No, back up, back up, back up, back up. Not worth it.
Because I'm, like, trying to, like, expose and investigate, and I think,
Yeah.
like, I can push them off their throne.
Yeah. Just be careful.
Danilo said, "Imagine two sociopaths living
Yeah.
in a castle." Yeah, is it possible for two sociopaths to live happily ever after?
I don't think so.
I think if they can work together at hurting and inflicting pain on others, that's the only
If
way.
it's a conscious contract and an open arrangement and that they're open about who they are, but most
Yeah,
sociopaths aren't walking around saying I'm a sociopath.
right.
Like,
They're saying, "I'm not one, but the world sees me that way."
I'm sorry about that. Yeah,
Yeah,
the ultimate frauds.
sounds like a lot of people are saying, like, it's like Joe from You. Well, let's plug your book.
Yes, from you. I love that. Yeah, exactly.
I love that show.
Mhm. Yeah, I just wrote a series, like, a
That guy's like a psychopath, I think, not a
yeah.
socio. He's even worse than a socio, Joe, because he's, like, killing everyone.
Yeah, but it's interesting because he does the narrative, like, talking about what he does, so there's a level of consciousness in that character that's interesting.
Do they move fast, these socios?
No, the still waters run deep, they'll take their time, no, yeah.
Oh,
They're
really?
remember what I said, like, Deepak told me, "The most detached person wins," and sociopaths are as detached as it gets.
Because 'Cause they're, like, trying to, like, rush people, like, into marriage, I noticed.
Well, everyone's probably gonna have a different situation, different variables and situations what they're trying to get, but
It
yeah.
also depends on the motive of the person, each one. Some socios might never give the girl or the guy, like, a they might just keep teasing.
They don't give, and if they're forced to, they will hurt you double.
Really?
Yeah,
Like
they do.
what?
Listen, after my ex broke my wrist and I was dealing with a detective in Santa Monica, he said to me, "Do you know what zip code in Santa Monica has the most domestic violence?" And I thought, and I guess 90405. I was thinking like Ocean Park area, like a less affluent area. And he goes, "Oh no, 90403. It's always the rich husband."
Yeah, because it's like they probably got ahead in business by acting that way.
Yeah. For them, they have to be in control. They have to win. They're tough. But I hate to break this because I love chatting with you and I love all your people, but I got to run because I got.
Yeah, you're good. Let's promote the book. This is the one you wanna promote, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, so you guys can find this on Amazon. That's where I got mine. Knock It Off. It's by Alana Zabel. Um, it's just that's it, right? Amazon.
On Amazon. Yeah.
And there's a lot of and if there's also worksheet, like there's like stuff you can do in here if you're struggling with these relationships and these abusive patterns.
Yeah.
She teaches you how to kind of get out of it.
Yeah.
It's really
And
helpful.
feel free to reach out. Anybody who's going through similar things. Like I just love helping people and, yeah. So,
And then we
yeah.
can always do a follow-up when the lawsuit we'll do a
Yeah.
follow-up since all my people seem to really like you.
Thanks for all your support too, everyone with Lauren. It's so hard and it's so hard, but I'm hanging in there.
They said, "Great guest."
Thanks, Sid.
Yeah, well, thanks so much for coming on and have a good rest of your Tuesday.
You too, my love. Great to see
Okay,
you.
bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.